think maybe I will lay this thing down. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our honored guest, appreciated guest. The topic today is being fully clothed, and I have a lot of quotes. They're not superfluous, but they're superior quotes. And I'm going to start out with one by the old Norwegian ancestors, who I claim about 50% ancestry. They used to say, and they still say, the old ones, they say there's no such thing as bad weather. I think they are qualified on that subject. They say that there's no such thing as bad weather, there's just bad clothing. And I agree with that. And I was walking the other day with my husband, who was wearing his Storm Tech jacket that he got when we were in Canada, and it was a cold day, and he was just toasty as could be. And I had thrown on some little thing, and I was shivering around. So there's no argument with that. That's totally true. No such thing as bad weather, it's just bad clothing. Except, young people have an addition to make to that. Young people like to say, it's not about the weather, it's not about the springtime or the snow, it's what you wear from ear to ear, and not from toe to toe. In other words, you're never fully dressed without your smile. So, there's a lot of proof for the garment part, but what about the smile part? Is it really true that we're not fully dressed when we're not smiling? If you think about it, when you're out in the weather and the elements are after you, and if you're not fully dressed, you might get sick, you might catch cold. You're going to be stressed. Your mind even will be stressed if your body is stressed by shivering and not being comfortable. Is the same true when it comes to smiling? You might say that it is. That if you are going around without a smile, you're a little more likely to get sick, and you're a little more likely to be stressed. So, I'm going to start by telling you about David Snowden, who is the prime mover in the nun study. And the nun study is a study of a bunch of nuns who committed to leave their brain to research when they die. They can have an autopsy of their brain, and what they're studying is Alzheimer's and various aspects of aging and how that affects the brain. A remarkable percentage of these autopsies are coming out with Alzheimer's type brains, and yet there was no evidence of it before they died. In fact, one of them was stage 4 Alzheimer's. No evidence. They had the plaques and tangles and all that. So something else is going on. There's a whole list of things that they do that contribute probably to this result. One of them is the use of positive words on a regular basis. They will, every day, the ones that have done well in this study, have done well cognitively and health-wise, will use positive words on a regular basis every day. I think it's a good idea to prove that, so I'm going to pass out positive words. And real quick, if you'd pass those around, and as soon as you get your positive word, turn to the person next to you and use it in a sentence. Do I have enough? Yeah. Okay, so we've just proven that positive words can result in smiles. In fact, it's kind of inevitable, and if positive words affect our cognitive function, then smiles undoubtedly also affect that, as well as our health in other ways. And in fact, we've been talking and hearing about Amy Cuddy and her power stance, and her various power stances. Doing this for 2 minutes prepares you to do better in various challenging situations, including interviewing. It seems that testing the physical body after a power stance of 2 minutes, the cortisol levels lower, the stress hormone levels are lower, and the testosterone levels are a little higher. And so you're ready. Well, it turns out the same is true of smiling. That even if you don't feel like smiling, if you force a smile, you get stress relief. There was a 2012 study that showed that. And then opening up the paper on Sunday, here's this article. They did a study of Botox on the frown lines, and the women, or the men, the people who had major depression, who had Botox on their frown lines, had 50% of them had relief from their depressive symptoms after 6 weeks. They weren't able to use that muscle. It gave feedback to the brain. And the placebo group got a 15% relief rate. So that's a big difference. So the final thing I wanted to state in terms of being proof is Franz de Waal in Our Inner Ape, Monkey See, Monkey Do. When you smile at other people, the part of their brain that's involved in smiling lights up. So it's as if they smiled too. We're social animals. When you smile at somebody else, you literally are giving them a smile. And you see that with mothers and babies, and we all know how important that is. So I'm going to end with a few quotes. Phyllis Diller said, "A smile is a curve that sets everything straight." Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile is the source of your joy." And Anonymous said, "A smile is like tight underwear. It makes your cheeks go up." Another one, "A smile is an inexpensive way to change your looks. A smile is a powerful weapon